Shalom, people. Shalom, shalom. How y'all doing today, man? This be our brother, man, the elder Radazan from Disciples of the Mountains of Israel. And I'm back at y'all, man, with a little quick, brief lesson. It ain't gonna take too much of your time, man. I understand Israel suffer from a bad case of attention span. So I'm gonna make this quick as possible, as edifying as possible, and we're gonna pray that the Most High bestow, the power in this message, man, to reach you. A seed will be planted into you, and He give the increase, and we do so in the name of the beloved Son, by Hashem Yahushua. So, without further ado, man, let's get this right here, man. This is judgment and salvation that was shown to our father Abraham when the Most High was dealing with him and giving him the promises and showing him everything that he needed to see, to know that this is the Almighty, the eternal God, the God of all gods, the God of heaven and earth, more specifically the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So right here we in what's called a vision of judgment and salvation. And this is from the Apocalypse of Abraham, and it reads, "And I looked and saw, lo, the picture saved Salakia." Let me get my other eyes, because that's crazy, man. I can't see, y'all. Can't see nothing small. Yeah, that's a better picture. All right, let's start it from the top. It says, "And I looked and saw, lo, the picture swayed, and from it emerged on its left side a heathen people, and they pillaged those who were on the right side, men and women and children. Some they slaughtered, others they retained with themselves. Lo, I saw them run towards them through four entrances, and they burnt the temple with fire," right? And saying the holy things that were therein they plundered. "And I said, O eternal one, lo, the people that sprang from me," this is Abraham talking, "whom thou hast accepted," in other words, chosen, "the hordes of the heathen do plunder, and some they kill, while others they hold fast as aliens. And the temple they have burnt with fire, and the beautiful things therein they do rob and destroy. O eternal mighty one, if this be so, wherefore hast thou now lacerated my heart, and why should this be so? And he said to me, Hear, O Abraham, what thou hast seen shall happen on account of thy seed, who anger me by reason of the statue which thou sawest, and on account of the human slaughter in the picture, through zeal in the temple. And as thou sawest, so shall it be. And I said, O eternal, mighty one, may the works of evil wrought in ungodliness now pass by, but show me rather those who fulfill the commandments, even the works of his righteousness, for thou canst do this." Now, Abraham, he didn't want to see the deplorable state of us, you know what I'm saying, because of our disobedience to the Father. He wanted to see those of us who made it, right, from keeping the commandments, right? It goes on and said, "And he said to me, the time of the righteous meeteth them, first through the holiness flowing from kings and righteous dealing rulers, whom I at first created in order from such to rule among them. But from these issue men who care for them in their interests, as I have made known to thee, and thou hast seen," right? And it goes on, saying, "How long?" Right? Saying, "I answered and said, Almighty, eternal one, hallowed by thy power, be favorable to my petition." And he got in, the parenthesis, for the note, say, "For this hast thou brought me up here and shewed me." In other words, what this saying right here is, the Most High and took Abraham up in the spirit, and he's showing him the end, front of me, showing him the whole picture, right? Check it out. And it say, "As thou hast brought me up to thy height, to make this known to me, thy beloved one, as much as I ask, whether what sorrow shall happen to them for long. Then, here go the little notes and stuff. I'm not gonna go in all that. It's time consuming. And it goes on and say, and he showed me a multitude of his people, not the entire world, but his people, the ones that he chosen, right? He said to me, on their account through 4 issues, as thou sawest, I shall be provoked by them. In other words, that we made the Father mad. His people made him mad. And it goes on and saying, these, my retribution for their deeds shall be accomplished. But in the fourth outgoing of 100 years, in other words, in 400 years, right? It's saying 1 hour of the age, the same is 100 years. It shall be in misfortune among the heathen, but 1 hour in mercy and contumely as among the heathen, right? It goes on. In other words, what he's saying right here, because in Genesis it speaks about, as well as in here, it speaks about how Abraham's seed will be taken to a land that's not theirs and treated cruelly for 400 years. In other words, enslaved and oppressed and stuff like that. And then after the 400 years, the Most High say he's going to judge that nation. That's what it's talking about here. Check it out. It goes on and said, and I said, O eternal mighty one, and how long a time is an hour of the age? Now we know 1 day of the Most High is like 1,000 years, right? So let's see what it is right here. And he said, 12 years have I ordained of this ungodly age, this that wickedness that he allowed to go on until the Son returned, the Messiah, the true Messiah, right? It goes on to say, to rule among the heathen and in thy seed, until the end of times it shall be as thou sawest. And do thou reckon and understand and look into the picture. It goes on and says, and I looked and saw a man going out from the left side of the heathen. Now, what he's finna talk about now is Christ. But in other words, the Most High is showing Abraham everything, right? Check it out. It say, and I looked and saw a man going out from the left side of the heathen. And there went out men and women and children from the side of the heathen, many hosts, and worshiped him, right? So a lot of heathen is going to, accept and worship Christ. Check it out. It say, and while I still looked, there came out from the right side. Now we know who the right side, the people on the right is the righteous, and the people on the left is the unrighteous, right? And we're gonna go in the canon and we're gonna verify all this, right? It says, and I looked and saw a man going out from the left side of the heathen, and there went out men and women and children from the side of the heathen, many hosts, and worshipped him. And while I still looked, there came out from the right side many, and some insulted that man, while some struck him. Others, however, worshipped him, right? It say, and I saw how these worshipped him, and Azazel. Azazel is Satan, right? It say, and ran and worshipped him. And having kissed his face, he turned and stood behind him. It goes on. And I said, O eternal mighty one, who is the man insulted and beaten? Who is worshipped by the heathen with Azazel, right? It say, and he answered and said, hear, O Abraham, the man whom thou sawest insulted and beaten and again worshiped, that is the relief granted by the heathen to the people who proceed from thee in the last days. I'm going to read that again. And he answered and said, hear, O Abraham, the man whom thou sawest insulted and beaten and again worshiped, these same people that insulted him and beat him started to worship him, right? That is the relief granted by the heathen to the people whom proceed from thee in the last days, in this 12th hour of the age of ungodliness. So we know that when Jacob and Esau were born, we know Jacob was holding the heel of Esau when they was coming out of the womb, right? Because remember, they were in the womb fighting. We can go find this in Genesis 25th chapter, right? So, and what that symbolized and represented was, Esau is the end of the world. and Jacob is the beginning of the world that follows. In other words, the wicked has been given their time to rule, right? All the way up until it's time for the son to return, or as it say here, that man that they punished, insulted, beat it, and eventually worship until he returned, right? So we know that Esau's rule is at an end. The time of the Gentiles is almost fulfilled. In other words, their rulership. They know the blessings that his father gave him when he begged his father for a blessing, and we know that was the fatness of the earth. All the good parts of the earth, and he gonna rule that with a militarily with a sword, according to the Bible. So that means that whoever been ruling this earth militarily, what I'm saying, doing wicked on the face of this earth and so on and so forth, that is the wicked, according to the Bible. Let's read on. Watch this. It say, but in the 12th year of my final age, I will set up this man from thy generation. No word, from Abraham's seed, right? It say, whom thou sawest issue from my people, right? This one all will follow. It's saying, such as are called by my name will join, even, right? Where they would join also. Where Israelites and heathens alike, right? It say, those who change in their counsel, and those whom thou sawest emerge from the left side of the picture. The meaning is, check it out, there shall be many from the heathen who set their hopes upon him. Just like you see today, right? Even though they got the wrong person, right? It say, and as for those whom thou sawest from thy seed, where Abraham see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, say on the right side, some insulting and striking, others worshiping him. Many of them shall be offended at him. Yeah, a lot of people hate Christ. Oh, especially now they found out here, brother. Oh man, I seen on the news people burn their Bibles and stuff when Putin brought out those icons, man, those Russian icons. But anyway, let's keep moving, right? Let's say he, however, is testing those who have worshipped him of thy seed. In other words, you got to go through Abraham's seed to worship Christ and the Most High and stuff like this. Those people that are not of Israel. This just what the text is saying. Let's read some more, right? It say, however, is testing those who have worshipped him of thy seed in that 12th hour of the end, with a view to shortening the age of ungodly. In other words, like how a matter of fact, this one sister breaking down how time just speeded up, but the Bible say, for the elect say he will speed this thing up, right? So time is moving faster than what it normally do according to Scripture. Let's read, right? Let's say, before the age of the righteous beginning to grow, right? He say, my judgment shall come upon the lawless heathen through the people of thy seed, whom have been separated from me. And we know the Bible say that the Most High is going to put his anger, his vengeance in his people. And they're going to go and do according to his anger, not their own anger. No, we're going to have the spirit of the Father in us. And Christ reiterates this again, basically, in Luke chapter 19, verse 27, when he tell his people to go and get those who just refuse to worship him and come through his people and all that to get to him, however you want to look at it. Bring them to him. We're going to take them to him, and we're going to slay them before him. This is what the Bible says. This is not what I'm saying. Let's read on, right? It goes on and say, before the age of the righteous beginning to grow, my judgment shall come upon the lawless heathen through the people of thy seed, whom have been separated from me. See, we disconnected from the Most High, because when we disobeyed the Most High and not decide we wasn't going to follow the commandments and stuff, that right there disconnected us from him. That's why all the curses came upon us. Let's read on, right? Say, in those days, I will bring upon all creatures of the earth 10 plagues. Now, this is where y'all want to start paying attention at, right? You say, through misfortune and disease and signing of the grief of their soul. Thus much will I bring upon the generation of men that be upon it on account of the provocation of the corruption of its creatures, whereby they provoke me. And go on to say, and then shall righteous men of thy seed be left in the number which is kept. It goes on and say, kept secret by me, hastening in the glory of my name to the place prepared beforehand for them which thou sawest devastated in the picture, and they shall live and be established through sacrifices and gifts of righteousness and truth in the age of the righteous, and shall rejoice in me continually. And they shall destroy those who have destroyed them, and shall insult those who have insulted them. Let's go get some canon real quick, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna do the other part of this. We go on to Matthew 25, and we finna first deal with the right and the left, the people on the right and the people on the left. I'm in Matthew 25, this verse 31. Say, when the Son of Man, Hamashiach, shall come in his glory, in other words, with the power that the Father gonna give him, right? And all the holy angels with him, in other words, those military angels, right? Those heavenly military angels. Then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, in other words, his power that was given him by the Father, right? So, and before him shall be gathered all nations, right? Check it out, y'all. It's saying he shall separate them one from another. So, Christian, all that Christ coming back to put everybody together and we just going all, it's not like that. Trust me, I believe that too at one point. But it's not like that according to the text. He's gonna come, he's gonna separate people. Just like in Genesis 10, when the Father did what he did, he separated people. He didn't, matter of fact, that's why he did what he did to Nimrod. And Nimrod was favored by him at first until he wanted to do this one world government, one world currency, one world leader, one world labor. When he just wanted to just put everything together, the Most High wasn't feeling that, so he stopped that. He has always been against that. You know what I'm saying? And his son is showing you that he's still against that. So let's read. And we start in verse 31 from the top. It say, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. Keep that in mind. It goes on to say, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Right? And he goes on to say, then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world, from the beginning. Just like he was telling Abraham when he was showing Abraham everything. Here it is again, right here, right? So really, the Israelites were chosen before they were even Israelites, before Israelite even existed, right? Because Israelite is someone who descended from Jacob and the 12 sons. Those are Israelites, right? Abraham was not an Israelite. Isaac was not an Israelite. They were Hebrews. Let's go on. Let's move on. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. And of course, like you were saying in the Apocalypse of Abraham, that if they didn't listen to the Lord, evil and all this stuff here was gonna come upon them. And it did, right? Check this out. Say, but if it shall come to pass, if thou would not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Let's see if we can find some law on this. Let's go to Leviticus 26 and 14. It say, but if ye will not hearken unto me and will not do all these commandments, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor, in other words, hate my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, I will also do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror. Think about that for a second. The Most High say he will point over us terror for breaking his laws. Now tell me, man, what people on the planet have been terrorized more than us? I wait, man. I don't care what you try to compare to it. It's not going to compare. It's not going to compare. It's not going to compare, man. So, black man, so-called Mexican man, Seminole Indian man, this Bible is talking about you, right? Let's keep reading. It says, He said, I will also do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of the heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it. Verse 17. And I will set my face against you. So the Father's not with us. Oh, yes, he's with us now because we waking up. Because remember, the evil, the wicked, they had a free reign to do whatever they're gonna do, and that time is almost up. And it said, and the Bible said, in those times we would start to wake up and remember ourselves in the land of our captivity. We'll get to that if I can remember, because it's a lot to unpack here, right? It goes on. I'm gonna read that again. It said, I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you. In other words, rule over you, man. Right? And ye shall flee when none pursue you. Let the cops pull up on the block. You can be sitting up there just chilling with your own boy, ain't doing nothing, man. Just talking about, reminiscing or wishing of what you had, and let the cops roll up. Watch them boys scatter. Yeah, man, this book is talking about us, man. Because when you compare this to any other, when you try to apply this to any other people, it doesn't fit, right? Let's move right along, man. We're gonna get back to this apocalypse of Abraham, right? So we done went through pretty much the judgment and the salvation, right? Because though the judgment is here, and of course we know the salvation will be, Israel being taken back to their own land, and so on and so forth. And those that hate them, they're gonna rule over them, right? So let's get to the second part of this, so the punishment of the heathen and the ingathering of Israel. And this is coming from the apocalypse of Abraham, right? It says, but while he was still speaking, I found myself upon the earth. Now, where the Most High didn't put him back, back here in the physical, right? It said, and I said, O eternal mighty one, I am no longer in the glory in which I was while on high, and what my soul longed to understand in my heart, I do not understand. So Abraham thought the Father was going to show him all that and not really just break it all down to him so he can have an understanding. So let's check it out, right? It goes on to say, and he said to me, what is desired in thine heart? I will tell thee, because thou hast sought to see the 10 plagues which I have prepared for the heathen. He say, and have prepared beforehand at the passing over of the 12th hour of the earth. Y'all, we in the 12th hour, the last hour of the 12th hour, right? It say here, what I divulge to thee, and if you want to know how to read that clock, go look at your little zodiac wheel. That'll give you a general idea of how that clock works. Each one of those zodiacal houses, I think, are 12.5 now it's 25,000, 24,000 years each one, 2,400. But it all come out to be, like just like on a clock. You know what I'm saying? So we're pretty much entering into the last zodiacal house, right? Which means it's the end of this age, which we know the age of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? The Luciferians and all these people, right? Their time is over, right? So let me read this again from the top. And he said to me, what is desired in thine heart, I will tell thee, because thou hast sought to see the 10 plagues which I have prepared for the heathen, and have prepared beforehand at the passing over of the 12th hour of the earth. He said, hear what I divulge to thee, so shall it come to pass. The first is the pain of distress. That's one plague, right? All right. The second is conflagration, right? Of many cities. In other words, the burning and destroying of cities. California, LA, and all the ones that's freezing over and suffering from these major earthquakes. See, they're not showing you all this on the media. And then the average one of you all out there so dense, so indoctrinated with this false doctrine called Christianity and Catholicism and any other type of ism, y'all can't even see the prophecies, unfolding right before your eyes. And then those of y'all who are deceivers, who are minions of Satan, y'all notice the judgment of the Father, but y'all tell these people it ain't. No matter how it happened, whether somebody started the fire or not, it's still the control of the Father. He has control of everything. So if he put the spirit on someone to start the fire, or some rich elite to burn everything down so he can cop the land or whatever, however it is, it still bars back, to the Father, the Most High. Now I'm gonna go in this Septuagint and show y'all, you know, what I mean when I say that. Well, what he mean when he say that, right? Let's read, right? Where was I at? It say the second conflagration of many cities, the third destruction and pestilence of animals. Y'all ever think about, how animals go distinct? Well, for one, man destroys them. They even destroyed their ecosystem, so they can't do what they need to do to survive on their own. So what leaves them? They dies off. That's destruction. They destroying the animals. Yeah, man. It goes deep than what you think it is. Y'all on this fairy tale, hocus pocus stuff, man. We floating around in clouds. No, that's not reality, man. That's fairy tale. Okay, and the third, destruction and pestilence of animals. The fourth, hunger of the whole world and of its people. The fifth, by destruction among its rulers. The wicked rulers, right? Destruction by earthquake. Yeah, and the sword. The sixth, multiplication of hail and snow. We're having that right now. While one side of the country is burning, the other side is up on the ice and water and snow and all this here, man. It's getting now. And this is just begun. This just is a precursor to what's going to be happening globally. Right? It goes on. It says the seventh, the wild beasts will be their grave. 8, hunger and pestilence will alternate with their destruction, right? It's going to go back and forth. All right. The ninth, punishment by sword and flight in distress, running from who became your enemy, or trying to run from those Israelites who've been given that power to go round you up, like Christ said in Luke 19 and 20, 27, 19 and 27. So it's all right here, man. It say thunder and voices and destructive earthquake. These are the 10 plagues that the Most High is coming with. Some already hit, some not, right? They ain't hit yet, but rest for sure they gonna hit. Then he go on and say, and then I will sound the trumpet out of the air. People claim they hearing these sounds that sound like trumpets and stuff like this, whatever, man. We can't say that this is not the Most High. We can't even say it is. We don't know. But those of us who pay attention and read and study to show ourselves approved, we pay attention to those things, and we kind of like see what's happening. And we trying to warn y'all. Anyway, it said, and I will sound the trumpet out of the air and will send mine elect one, having in him all my power. It's Christ, right? It say one measure, and this one shall summon my dispersed people from the nations. So Christ is going to round us up with this power, right? Just like it said in the Bible. Check it out. And it say, and I will burn with fire those who have insulted them and who have ruled among them in this age. Not when we get to the kingdom, or not we know, man. Right now, this age. It goes on. They still ruling over us. I don't care how you slice it. And it goes on. And I will give those who have covered me with mockery to the scorn of the coming age. Yeah, man. California stayed mocking the Father. It's the seat of Satan. Hollywood. Go do the research on the word Hollywood and watch you come up. Watch where you end up at. Yeah. For real, man. It's all coming. It's all coming so fast, man, to where you really got to slow your mind and your heart and your spirit down and pay attention to it. And how you do that? By staying prayed up and in that word. Right? Okay, where we at here? It said, and I will give those who have covered me with mockery to the scorn of the coming age. And I have prepared them to be food for the fire of haze and for the ceaseless flight to and fro through the air in the underworld beneath the earth. It goes on and it says, Say the downfall of men who still remain, who have followed the idols in their murders, for they shall petrify. Back, man. We had a little technical difficulties right there, man. But let me go ahead and close this up because we were just about wrapping it up. I was giving you all the end part of this, so and this was dealing with the judgment. Well, let me go to it. Let's say the punishment of the heathen and the ingathering of Israel. And we just gonna give you kind of recap on what was read. Say, but while he was still speaking, I found myself upon the earth. And this is when Abraham was brought back to the physical by being after being taken up in the spirit to the show to be shown everything that will happen to his descendants as well as the other nations, right? So it say, but while he was still speaking, I found myself upon the earth, and I said, "O eternal mighty one, I am no longer in the glory in which I was while on high." And said, and what my soul longed to understand in my heart, I do not understand. Oh, excuse me, y'all. It goes on and say, and he said to me, what is desired in thine heart? I will tell thee, because thou hast sought to see the 10 plagues which I have prepared for the heathen, and have prepared beforehand at the passing over of the 12th hour of the earth. Hear what I divulge to thee, so shall it come to pass. The first is pain of great distress. The second is conflagration of many cities. The third, destruction and pestilence of animals. And fourth, hunger and of the whole world and of its people. And fifth, by destruction among its rulers. Destruction by earthquake and the sword. The sixth, multiplication of hail and snow. The seventh, the wild beasts will be their grave. And the eighth, hunger and pestilence will alternate with their destruction. The ninth, punishment by the sword and flight and distress. The 10th, thunder and voices and destructive earthquakes, right? And this is where we had the technical difficulty. So I start at the top from here as well, saying, then I will sound the trumpet out of the air, and I will send mine elect one who we know is Christ, right? Having in him all my power, one measure. And this one shall summon my despised people from the nations. So it's going to be Christ who's going to, with this power that the Father has given him, as it stated earlier in the Apocalypse of Abraham, it was called a measure of power, right? And with this power, he's going to gather the people of the Most High, which are the Israelites, right? And it said, and I will burn with fire, right? Those who have insulted them and who have ruled among them in this age, those who have ruled over us, right? And it said, and I will give those who have covered me with mockery to the scorn of the coming age. And I have prepared them to be food for the fire of Hades and for ceaseless flight to and fro through the air in the underworld beneath the earth, right? All these are just notes, they're notes. I'm not going to go over too many of them, right? It say the downfall of the men who still remain, who have followed the idols in their murders, for they shall putrefy in the body of the evil worm Azazel, right? And be burnt with the fire of Azazel's tongue. For I had hoped that they would come to me and not have loved and praised the strange God. This is our people. We love everything but our own, man. Right? It said, not have adhered to him for whom they were not allotted, but instead they have forsaken the mighty Lord. And we have. A lot of us don't even believe in the Father, because of the indoctrination and just the all out love of other people's culture and gods and so on and so forth, right? But in conclusion, it says, therefore, hear, O Abraham, this is the father talking to Abraham still, and see, lo, thy seventh generation shall go with thee, and they shall go out into a strange land, and they shall enslave them and evil entreat them, as it were an hour of the age of ungodliness. But the nation whom they shall serve, I will judge. And no, this is also iterated into what they call a canon. So we'll go get that. That's Genesis. That's Genesis, and that's gonna be chapter 15 and 13. And it said, and he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. A lot of people try to say this is talking about the Egyptian captivity, but the Israelites wasn't even in Egypt 400 years. I think they whole entire state with the coming in as second class citizens, then made slaves, and then going out, come out to be about like 310 years, maybe less than that. I'm not quite for sure exactly what the number is, but it does not come out to be 400 years, right? And it goes on and said, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. It say, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. And this is what you're seeing today, not only on this land, but you know, on the earth, period, because the Israelites were scattered to the four corners of the earth, right? So therefore, that's why I say you're going to call all nations, because Israel was scattered into all nations, right? And he's going to plead with them. In other words, he's going to judge them, right? But let's get this scripture dealing with this gathering, because they say it will be an in gathering, right? Or gathering, or as we say, rounding up of Israel. So we're gonna go to what was that, Isaiah 14, yeah. And we're gonna read this because we just read it also in the Apocalypse of Abraham, right? It say, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, right? And will yet choose Israel. No matter what happened, he's still gonna choose Israel, right? And set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Remember, it said those people that insulted him, that beat him, and then eventually worshiped him was gonna join unto him, right? But of course, we know that don't mean how the Christian try to make this mean. The scripture finna tell you how, right? It's saying the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, right? And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressor. Remember, he said that these, all those who hated us and insulted us, you know what I'm saying, he was going to send us to get them, right? And here it is right here. Here it is right here. Now let's look at some more of this here, right? Let's go to Jeremiah 14. Let's go to Jeremiah 14, right? And man, I'm tripping, man. Jeremiah 17, Salaki, y'all. Jeremiah 17. Oh, is that? Yeah. Jeremiah 45 and 17. Man, I am tripping, man. My mind ain't got locked up with the scripture, man. I got too bit up in my head, man, trying to give them all to you. That's Zephaniah, not Jeremiah. Let me slow my mind down. We in Zechariah. I'm tripping. No, that's Jeremiah. See that, y'all? I'm confusing myself. So we going to Jeremiah. No, that is Zechariah. I'm tripping, y'all. That's Isaiah. Oh man, 45, y'all. Let me quit playing, because he finna take the spirit from me, man. And I ain't gonna be able to give it to y'all. All right. It said in Isaiah chapter 45, verse 17, it say, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. I mean, he gonna be forever, right? It said, ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end, right? So that world without end will be what's spoken of in the Septuagint. Now I'm finna go in the Septuagint in Daniel, and I'm finna read something to y'all out of it, right? Okay, I got it highlighted, so it's right here. And we're gonna be going. And I noticed in the Septuagint, the book and chapter don't match. In the regular Bible. So in the Septuagint, I'm going to Daniel chapter 2 at verse 44. Right. Let me let y'all know what it would be in the regular KJV, so y'all won't get lost. Daniel 2. Yeah, this is the Septuagint that I have right here, and I'm gonna give it to y'all on the phone so y'all can know exactly where to go. It's gonna be around like in the 40s. Yeah, so yeah, it would be 44 here. Okay, look at here. All praise. So we're in Daniel 2 and verse 44, and it reads, and in the days of those kings, the God of heaven shall set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. Right? And say, and his kingdom shall not be left to another people, but it shall beat to pieces and grind to powder all other kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Just like we read in Isaiah 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world singular without end. Right? So, as y'all can see, man, this stuff is fulfilling itself, man. And those of us that are his people, man, we need to repent and come back to his commands, man, and try to be, saved, and get this eternal life, this eternal kingdom that's being promised under Christ. But anyway, let's go back to Matthew real quick. I want to show y'all something there. I brought this out a little earlier, but it's the end part I wanna share with y'all. And this is for all the people, who deny Christ, his ethnicity, his people, and all that. This what Christ himself say is going to happen to the people who have done these things, right? Or who refuse to do the right thing. It say, and the king shall answer, this is Matthew 25 and 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren. And who is Christ's brethren? According to the flesh, the Israelites. He's from the tribe of Judah. He's an Israelite, right? He say, um, done it to one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. This is what Christ said, right? Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand. Now, these all y'all who didn't act right with Christ and his people and all this, right? Specifically his people, the ones he came to die for. He say, then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. And with that, I'm gonna say shalom. I hope y'all grab something from this jewel, man. Till next time, stay prayed up, pay attention, because it's here. It is here.